guys, welcome back to my channel. There is a thunderstorm happening outside, so I'll probably have to do a voiceover for this video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips to help you get rid of your stubborn belly fat and those stubborn love handles fast. I guarantee you, if you follow these 5 tips consistently, you are going to be unrecognizable. With that being said, let's get into the video. First, you need to understand how you developed your love handles and belly fat to begin with, and it's from overeating. And this isn't from one night of overeating, but from several months and years of consistently eating more calories than your body requires. And our bodies will store these excess calories as fat around the abdomen. For a few people, this may be around their thighs or face or somewhere else due to the differences in our genetics. But for most people, the belly is where our bodies store the fat the most. And to make matters worse, usually wherever the body stores fat first is where it'll lose fat from last. And this is what makes belly fat and love handles so easy to gain yet so tough to lose. And these areas build up slowly over time without you really noticing it, and then can seem almost impossible to lose after a period of time, no matter what you try. But love handles are just like any other fat, and if you use the right approach, it will go away. Also, it's important to note that our body doesn't naturally like to lose fat at all, because fat is a survival mechanism for our bodies. So you have to be doing something correctly and long enough and consistent enough so that you actually see the results. So the first tip is to modify your nutrition. You have to establish a calorie deficit to accomplish fat loss. This means that the calories that you consume should be less than what your body needs for its daily function, or less than what your body burns. So tracking and weighing our foods every day may not always be practical. So instead of measuring every single item of food that you put in your mouth, you can just make simple adjustments to achieve a necessary calorie deficit. So 1, you can push your first meal back as far as possible. So let's say instead of eating breakfast at 7 a.m., you can have your first meal at 11 a.m. This is also known as intermittent fasting. If you can limit your eating window, you will be able to reduce your calorie intake without actually making any major changes to your diet. The second tip is to create a sustainable meal plan. You can choose your favorite foods from the 6 major food categories. So first, you would have to have an understanding of the 6 food groups, which are protein, healthy fats, vegetables, carbs or starch, dairy, and fruit. Within these food groups, you're going to choose your 3 favorite foods from each group, and there is your diet. Now, with your selections, you can then piece several different meals together using these selections. Then you have room for 2 more foods, and this can be your favorite feel-good snacks or meals. So you can enjoy cookies or some wine or a piece of cake, but these 2 should not encompass your entire diet. This is a healthy, balanced diet right here that'll hold you down for life and not just during your fat loss phase. Tip number 3 would be to fill half your plate with vegetables. Vegetables are high in fiber, and this keeps us full for longer. The other half of your plate should consist of 1/4 lean protein and 1/4 carbs. Loading up on this many vegetables not only helps fill you up and keep you full for longer, but it does so with virtually no additional calories. And on top of that, the high protein intake not only helps to build muscle, but it's also shown to increase fullness and lead to overall healthier eating and fat loss. Tip number 4 is to replace any liquid calories, be it juice or soda or alcohol, with water. So if you're currently consuming 300 to 500 calories from juices or sodas, a simple adjustment of switching to just water could be all that you need to take you from your maintenance calories to a smaller deficit and contribute towards fat loss. Tip number 5 is to modify your workouts. A lot of you ask what exercise burns belly fat, and you can't do a bunch of crunches or sit-ups to lose fat in that area, because it is simply not possible for you to spot reduce fat. When you're losing fat, your body will lose fat from wherever there's fat to lose, regardless of what specific area you want it gone from. So what exercises should you be doing? There is no one specific exercise that targets belly fat. It is a combination of weight training and high intensity interval training. So you should be following a weightlifting program at least 3 times a week, where you're hitting your full body. Muscle is a metabolically active tissue that requires energy to maintain, whereas fat tissue is not. In other words, the more muscle you have, the easier it becomes to lose fat or stay lean. And what better way to build muscle than compound movements that target multiple muscle groups at the same time? Let's use a squat for example. A squat will burn significantly more calories during and after your workout than a bicep curl, because a squat is a compound movement that requires a lot more energy to perform than a bicep curl that's an isolation exercise that only targets one specific muscle group and doesn't require as much energy to execute. And then we have high intensity interval training, which is far more time efficient than doing steady state cardio, for example, a bike, or just walking on a treadmill for hours. So if you want to burn a high amount of calories in a fraction of the time without hindering your ability to build muscle, here is a HIIT routine that I recommend you start with before getting into your weightlifting routine, or you can complete this after. So you can start by performing 15 jump squats, followed by 30 seconds of bicycles, and then repeat this for about 4 to 6 sets and gradually work your way up from there. And finally, be sure to set a realistic goal. Yes, in order for you to achieve fat loss, it's very important that you set a realistic target that isn't going to be overwhelming. This is going to help you stay on track. A good general target is to aim to lose about a pound or 1 to 2 kg of fat a week, which means you have to eat around 500 calories less than what your body burns every day. But don't be afraid to take it even slower than this, so you can reduce by 200 to 300 calories. I'm going to leave a link in my description to guide you on how to calculate your calorie deficit according to your goals. If you apply these tips and are consistent over a period of 2 to 6 months, depending on your starting point, I guarantee you will lose your love handles.